Hello, this is DrSayus,
And Mark the Nitpicker.
and today we will be reviewing Justice League on, which is a film.
Well, you fucked that up, didn't you?
Yeah. Today we'll be reviewing Justice League, which was a film released in the cinema a few months ago. We watched it close to the day, but this video is very, very late.
Very, very late.
Indeed. I'll just read out the notes quickly. The film is about this villain that nobody's heard of called Steppenwolf.
Steppenwolf.
Steppenwolf?
And people have heard of him. If you've read the comics, then I'm
Well,
pretty sure they've heard of him.
I'm talking about the general audience.
Okay.
And he's looking for the free mother boxes to resurrect his mommy. The free mother boxes, there is one guarded by the Amazons. There is one guarded by the Aquaman. I don't know.
The people of Atlantis, basically.
Okay, the Atlantans, and there's one guarded by man for some reason. I don't know how they got that deal, but anyway, he has come from. He's been locked up for thousands of years, and he's come to steal all the boxes. Batman has caught wind of this, and he is pulling together different superheroes to fight off this threat.
He's trying to form a league.
Yeah.
A Justice League, if you will.
So this is the very first Justice League, isn't it?
The very first movie, yeah.
Yeah. So this is where it all begins.
There was an attempt to make a movie or a TV show back in the 90s, but it sucked.
Yeah.
Really did.
Before we give our opinions on the film, I'll just talk about who was in the film. There was Batman, of course, Wonder Woman, The Flash, Cyborg, Aquaman, and Superman makes an appearance. So let's talk about the film itself. What were your overall impressions?
To me, it was just basically another big budget superhero team movie, to be honest. I mean, we've seen these over the past years with the Avenger films, like, if you've seen those movies, you know what to expect when going into this one.
It was okay. I like the start of the film where Wonder Woman stops this random bank robber, but then it just sort of goes downhill. It just gets a bit predictable. You've seen it all before. He finds all the superheroes and he pretty much makes the Justice League, and they don't really get on too well at the start, but then they do get on at the end. It's very similar to the Avengers films, wouldn't you say?
Definitely.
Only not quite as good.
But by this point, that's what you'd expect.
Yeah. I found it interesting the Flash is a lot different to what he was in the TV show. In the TV show he's a lot more serious, but here he reminds me a lot of Spider-Man. So he does.
The TV show, you mean the cartoon?
No, I'm talking about the one that's...
Oh, the live action show.
Yeah, the live action show,
okay.
yeah. They made Aquaman a lot more edgy and gritty, didn't they? Like, he's a lot different to what he was in the comics. Like,
I mean, for years, people have made fun of Aquaman.
yeah.
It's like, now it's time to make a badass, make people actually like him, go, wow, this guy's gonna do some serious shit,
Yeah. And I think they did that. The problem is, though, he's too similar to Thor, I think. All the characters in this series, they're too similar to characters in the Marvel Universe. He was a good actor. I'm sure the women liked to look at him. He was a bit of eye candy for them. He liked his Guinness. That man could chug a pint.
Yes. A lot of people complained about the CGI, thinking that it was too video game-ish.
Well, for me, the CGI, it was very distracting. I could feel my concentration slipping when they just kept using CGI. I mean, use it in moderation. Like, you can have slower moments. Like, when everything's going too fast and it's like explosions and Flash just running and Batman all, like if you do that for too long, it creates the opposite effect where I lose concentration. What was it like for you whenever they were doing all that?
Well, I'm a sucker for action, so I love that stuff
You love that shit.
very much.
You could sort of tell as the movie was going, right, this is what's going to happen next. And when films are like that, it sort of sucks you out a wee bit. Like, I like to be suspense, you know, and tension. Like, you don't have to follow the comics to a T. I don't think they do. Justice League, do you think it was a film worth going to see?
Well, if you're just wanting another typical popcorn entertainment superhero flick, then obviously if you're sick and tired of all these Avengers style superhero team up films, then don't bother. That's all I can say.
It didn't impress me. It was okay. You know, it's one of those films that you feel like you have to see. And when you see them, it's like, why do I watch this? But it was better than Batman versus Superman. That film was god awful, but yeah, it's alright. What would I give it out of 5? I'll give it a 3.
3? 5?
I think that's fair.
Okay.
What would you give it?
A typical fanboy, I'll just give it a 4. That's just me, and if I can't tell the difference between a good film and a bad film, that's just me then.
The reason I give it a 3 is because of the special effects and all that. More of the if it was just a story, I'd probably give it 2 out of 5. But. So yeah, that was our review of the game.
The game? The movie.
The movie. Let us know. Was this? Did you guys enjoy the film? And tell us what you liked and what you didn't like. And I look forward to speaking to you all.
Yes.
Comments. All 5 of you.
Yes.
Bye, guys.
Bye bye.